our starting spots, and you know, Mello and Shea are doing a much better job of just organising our team right now. You know, and then we've got a healthy Chris Golding, who's playing good basketball that we didn't have in Perth.
Thanks, mate, and good luck.
Bit early with Dean Vickerman bringing the starting fives shortly, but we're about to tip here in front of a good crowd at Melbourne Arena. Great to have you with us. Early possession with the Perth Wildcats. See what Cotton can do today. See if he gets a sighter early. He does for the jumper for two. Didn't look likely. And here's the other main man. Mello Trimble takes it down the other end. Hands it off. And we're going to see Big Joe Lual-Achul a little bit this Hungry Jacks NBL20, I'd reckon.
Well, he was impressive in that game one a couple of weeks ago against Perth. This is his first ever start. Now, I know it's only his third NBL game, but still, coming in and starting, I don't think Dean Vickerman would be expecting that. And he'd need to do a little bit better on Nick Kay if he's going to hold that starting spot.
I can tell you that for sure. He has his hands filled today. This would be a really good matchup and a really good test for him.
Yeah, Nick Kay was a star for the Boomers at the FIBA World Cup in China. And we know what a couple of these gun players can put together in a quick space of time. And Nick Kay is one of those who can put some points on you and rip down plenty of rebounds. Here's Cotton. Steps it back out wide to the corner. Damian Martin from the corner. It's probably not his forte, even though his numbers aren't too bad. And the tip in, fourth, fifth time, didn't quite work. Kay pulls it down and says, let's start this thing again. Old turn baseline. Did well there, Big Joe. Got on his face. 5 on the shot clock. Cotton rips it up. Tough shot.
It's a really impressive start by Cotton, who took a while to get into the game the other night against the Tampa, the Taipans.
Golding, corner. Well, he always knows where the net is here.
He's just been in sensational form. This whole offseason has been great for him with the Boomers, pre-season, and he's continuing the great form right now.
Martin flicks it back out to Kay. Pushed a little by Big Joe Lual-Achul.
And the Perth Wildcats, they spoke, and Trevor spoke about changing some things up in the off-season. And I think we've seen it in these first couple of possessions. Usually, as you take a look at the starting fives, there's Trimble McCarron. He's led the team in minutes playing, averaging almost 35 minutes a game, shooting the ball 55%. So he's been in good form as well. But Trevor, talking about those changes, if this had been last year or the year before, I think after a performance that they've had, they would have gone back straight to their flex offense, got into their structure, and used it here. Now, they're very organised with what they do, but it's more the dribble handoff and dribble penetration without as much movement away from the ball. And I think that's the big change that, or not a big change, but the slight change that he's made to his system as he tries to improve.
Trevor Gleeson up out of his chair early. And you can hear the voice of Dean Vickerman in the background as well. Long. Trimble. Two come at him. Both put pressure on him. Achul drew the contact and then lost the ball. Martin. These two teams meeting for the second time this season. Already met once. That's rejected big time by Sean Long. 1 point game when these two teams met. Oh, Trimble lost it. That was bizarre to see that. And ahead of the ball, Cotton. No foul, no bucket. McCarron. Golding. Long. Golding. Don't give him two chances. You do not give Chris Golding two chances back to back.
No, you don't. And that takes a lot of confidence when you've just missed one. Admittedly, it's in the same spot, but to have that confidence just to light it up again shows the way in which the Melbourne United are going to go about it.
Kay, he's been a go-to man for a while now, Nick Kay. What a star he is.
First team All-NBL, championship winning power forward. Big key to what they do. It's a big key.
18 points in that game one win over Melbourne United. We spoke about with 7 rebounds, 7 assists. Golding. Oh my goodness. That is crazy good from there.
Well, it's crazy deep. That's a good metre and a half, 2 metres behind the three-point line. And when he gets in this frame of mind, coming off that confidence-boosting 7 of 10 against the Sacramento Kings, be like a layup to him.
Absolutely. Dario Hunt gives us a much-needed point. So the scoreline right now, Golding 9, Perth 7. Mello to Long. Trimble. And on the floor. Here's those Golding threes, and he has started hotter than hot, but he knows where it is here.
Oh, he does, and he's really in that comfort zone. He's got that swagger. That is deep. And when he's made a couple, that's the worst thing you can do is step off on him and give him that space, because you know he's going to let it fly. Great to see Dave Barlow checking in for his first action of the season. That's a travel. So not the sort of start that he was looking for. Only the slightest of shuffling of the feet. And certainly don't always see that decision made correct, but quite often they let those little shuffles go.
I've seen a few of those called this season so far. The feed to Cotton, and he was hammered by McCarron on the way to the hoop. They have had some injury issues, Melbourne United. You mentioned Barlow. He's back after a thumb injury. Sam McDaniel has had that foot sprain, and Chris Golding had that ankle problem as well that caused him to miss the game too. Lost to the Wildcats in Perth, but boy, when he's in form, this kind of form, looks like his injuries well and truly recovered.
Oh, and not to mention the biggest injury of them all. Casey Prater is out.
Got some burgers on the line here, boys.
Oh, surely not Bryce Cotton. When was the last time he delivered Hungry Jack's burgers to the world?
If ever, I would be surprised if he's ever coughed up a couple of burgers for us.
Don't rely on Bryce Cotton to give you a feed tonight. 88% from the free throw line. That was a rare miss, his first one. And this Hungry Jack's NBL20. Great to have you with us. Round 3. Here's Barlow, back from that injury, hands it off. Healy thought about the shot from the corner. Barlow, he gives it up. Well, why wouldn't you give it to Golding? Was that what I thought it was? Was that an air ball?
No, it was. And a great extra pass, too, by Barlow, finding the hot hand. It's interesting also in that the thing that surprised a lot in that first game is we see White.
Tariko White drops an early 3 just to let everyone know, don't forget about me.
Well, he did a bit of damage here a few months ago to win the title, MVP in the final series. But this man here, Lyle, not involved, a little step back.
Off balance, one leg.
Well, it was interesting in that first game that in the last 5.5 minutes, Dean Biggerman benched him and he didn't see any action. And that was a real surprise, perhaps making a little bit of a statement about how much the expectations are at both ends of the floor.
Step back again. This time, Long, the man Andrew Gaze was telling you about, pulls down the rebound to McCarron. Barlow from the corner. Good to have him back.
One thing he does do, Dave Barlow, throughout his entire career is work diligently on his game, and he's been back here while the team's been in the States, and no doubt he's been getting up a lot of shots.
He's a 4-time NBL champion. If you don't know the Dave Barlow story, he's become an iconic part of Australian basketball in many respects, and travelled to China with the Boomers. Didn't play any game time over there, but good enough to play with the Boomers yet again at his age. McCarron takes it quickly down the floor, spin move, and he was fouled on the way to the hoop. Put him in a spin cycle, looked like he was going to deliver, but has to go and get himself a couple up the free throw line.
McCarron's another one that's seen a little bit of international duties as Australia qualified for those World Cup, and he's one of those players that right on the bubble. And sometimes he's a little unassuming with the way he goes about it, but he started this season in white-hot form, shooting at 55% from the field. 6 of 10 from the three-point line, if you don't mind. And as I mentioned in the introduction, 35 minutes a game. So a lot of that would have been because of the absence of Chris Golding, but nevertheless, he's performed really well.
Yeah, 37 minutes, 33 minutes for the two Mitch McCarron games so far. 13 points and 17 points, as Andrew Gaze told you. 5 points and 8 points in the two NBA versus NBL games, and that'll count all the way to the hoop. And Norton, who's 77% from the free throw line, will go there for the extra.
Quality player to have coming off your bench. He's a starter on many teams in this NBL. Have him coming off the bench behind Damian Martin is a great look.
Well, that's right, and he's again an elite defender. Not quite in the Damian Martin category, but he's got those traits about him. His jump shot is evolving and getting better, but what you saw there is where I think that he can really excel. His ability to get downhill, create off the bounce, and get to the rim. He continues to grow in those areas, and he becomes pretty tough to guard.
Trimble to Long. Another step back off balance. And it's Perth Wildcats ball.
I don't like that shot by Sean Long. I think he can get a better look. He can be more aggressive. And that was a shot that he settled.
Norton. Shot clock one just way down to single figures. McCarron for the rebound. Barlow from the corner. That didn't look likely. Cotton fouled in his attempt to pull it down. So Melbourne United, a loss in game one against Southeast Melbourne Phoenix, a loss in game two against the Perth Wildcats by 1 in Perth. Then travelled to the US for those 2 games against the Clippers and Sacramento, where they put 100+ points on the board in both of those games against those 2 NBA teams, and they're back home now. This is Perth's first away game of the season, so the dust still settling on this season a little.
They're only shooting at 33% to start this one, but the thing that concerned Trevor Gleeson would be the field goal percentage of Melbourne United. They're already shooting at 55%, 57% from the three-point line. That's really been their problem in the first few games this season, is the way in which the teams have been able to score at such an efficient rate. The teams are shooting 55% against them. Now, I know it's a small sample size, and United had 65 in one of them. That blows the averages out a little, but that's still, when you look at Wildcat teams over the last 5 or 6 years, then that's not good enough.
There's Casey Prather, as you mentioned, Corey, not playing in this one because he's still injured. Doesn't have the sunnies on today. Can't quite be as bright here at Melbourne Arena as it was in that earlier game this season. We saw him on the sideline. Peter Hurley is on the sideline with us, and a short time ago caught up with Perth.
You know, we were untouching him on screens, and he wasn't getting clean looks, so we got to tidy that up and execute in the half court better for him.
I appreciate the chat. Thanks, mate.
No worries, done well.
And as you'd expect from Trevor, real focus of what's going on the defensive end. And pretty sure he wouldn't be overly thrilled with what he's seen in the first 8 minutes of this one.
Although you mentioned United shot 65% against them earlier this season, Wildcats won that game, so
They did.
it's a wild stat.
And they've been involved in a couple of wild stats, because the other night against Cairns, they had 24 offensive rebounds. I mean, that is off the charts ridiculous, and you'd think anyone that's going to have that many offensive rebounds surely going to win the game, but they come up short. So a couple of statistical anomalies in their game so far.
Mello Trimble to set it up again for United. To McCarron. Shot clock down to 4. He's going to have to put it up. Gets his way into the key, into the paint, does well.
I love how he goes about his business. He does so many different things on the court. That's why he's so valuable to his team. He's been an asset to this team ever since he put this jersey on.
Give a lot of credit too to Aaron Byrne with what he did when he was with the Taipans as well.
Hammered was Norton on his way to the hoop. Sorry, guys, he cut you off there.
No, I was just going back, and you look at some of these guys, even someone like Nathan Sobey, a few of them have gone through Aaron Byrne's program. Now, I think it goes beyond a coincidence when you see how they grow after playing under that system, and it is very much a system. They played a style of play that made it competitive, and I think he grew in that system. Might not have liked it, might be the reason why he decided to pack his bag and leave, but nevertheless, I've got to give credit where it's due.
Definitely do. Mitch Norton gets 3 the hard way. One of the best penetrating guards in this league.
Oh, Illy nearly lost it. Went and mopped up his mess. Gave it to Mello. Barlow.
Holding.
And on the floor.
Both teams now are in the bonus. 2 shots for each.
Trevor Gleeson, speaking of icons, 13th season as an NBL coach, 7th season with the Wildcats. Trevor Gleeson stalking that sideline again as Barlow heads to the free throw line.
What a record. It's incredible success that he's had. Trevor Gleeson. Highlighted with those championship wins.
Yeah, 11 of the 12 seasons he's been the head coach. His teams have made playoffs.
They've made playoffs 34 years in a row.
But 30 Trevor, when you were under his tutelage as well for a little while, even then with the Townsville Crocs, had some success there. Not the ultimate success, but he had some success.
Oh, we overachieved for Townsville. Success. Shout out to Townsville.
Yeah, I'm not sure that was a compliment for Townsville, though, as to give that shout out. Barlow stood his ground there and did well. Yeah, 4 championships for Trevor Gleeson. He has been one of the great coaches of sport in general in this country. 20-17, 1 minute left in this opening quarter here at Melbourne Arena. Barlow with the inbound. Joldick's had a little rest.
Excuse me. Well, I know that Trevor, star of this Melbourne United, second leading scorer in the competition last year, yet to take a field goal attempt.
Barlow's had plenty. Pledger rips it down. That was strange putback. Got plenty of air in the teardrop, but it dropped. That's the main thing. Wagstaff getting some court time. Majok. They wind it down. 2-for-1 opportunity here for the Wildcats. And Majok fouled. Ex-New Zealand Breakers, but of course ex-Melbourne United as well, where he won a championship. Grew up in Perth, so he's moved back to his old home state. And Dylan Stith getting some game time as well for Melbourne United. 3 minutes in game 1, 18 minutes in game 2, and 6 points.
Great story. Dylan Stith came out here 4 or 5 years ago. Some guy recognised some talent, decided to give him a go in the Melbourne Tigers, and very well since.
That guy had some good credentials, wasn't he? A 5-time Olympian and a 7-time NBL MVP. Who gave him that go?
No, but the thing about it is he came out here, he bought his own ticket out here looking for a job, and was struggling to find something, so well done to him.
There's your code for free Hungry Jacks as Mello takes it to the hole. Your code is a shot. Free Hungry Jacks cheeseburgers all season if the away team player at the line misses 2 free throws. Okay, dying seconds of this opening quarter. Perth shot to take. Who's going to take it though? Stripped, and it's still a Wildcats ball with 4.7 left. So plenty of time to draw up a play here. Who do they go to? Thanks, guys. Steindl. And the putback will do on the buzzer. I'm not sure that's how they drew it up, but Majok with a wild, beautiful play that you can't plan for. Special comments from Andrew Gaze, the 7-time NBL MVP and the 1-time NBL MVP. 1-point game, and these two teams met earlier this season. And in that game, as we've mentioned, Melbourne United didn't have Casey Prather, Chris Golding and David Barlow. So they have Golding and Barlow back, and Golding has been the hot man so far in this game. Cott to North.
We'll have a look at this lineup on the floor for Perth. They dished up a few interesting ones against Cairns, but we thought that was more about making statements and trying to find a defensive combination. But we've got no 5-man on the floor right now. Vague, I guess, would be the one that would be the imposter 5.
Cotton, catch and shoot. Never looked likely. Trimble.
Cotton, the only starter as well. And They lost the rebound count 12-6 in that first quarter, so that might have a little bit to do with it.
Stripped. Cotton gives it up. Well, Steindl for the three instead. Could have taken it to the hole himself and made sure of it. Vague was stripped. Again, that organised chaos doesn't quite work for Cotton. Still alive. Cotton flicks it back out. He wants to take a shot here. Wagstaff hands it off to Mitch Norton. Shot clock down to 5 for 3.
They just can't throw it in the ocean. They've had some good looks. They're down to 29%, 7 of 24 from the field. And some of them are just guys missing shots.
But what they're doing a really good job of is crashing the boards, following their shot. They have about 5 offensive rebounds in this quarter, and the quarter just started.
Cotton gives it up this time, and you mentioned Vague out on the floor. Doesn't nail that. And Melbourne United eventually get that stop. And foot on the sideline. So a turnover. Dean Vickerman.
Well, the only thing is that might be true when it was there, but if he's taken off from out of bounds and he's caught it before he's hit the ground,
yep,
that could have been an issue. Tight one, though.
The Wildcats get a break. Reese Vague, Steindl, and they called. We talked about it a bit, but seen more called this season per game than before.
And I like it. You've got to find the balance between the offense and the defense, and it's very hard defensively these days with the way in which the game is officiated, not just here but throughout the world. So providing an even greater advantage by allowing players to travel makes it hard to defend.
Long takes the second go at it and gets it to drop. Will go to the free throw line after the foul. Sean Long.
And this is where you run that test and say, well, if you're going to go small, what's the punishment? And they show the punishment there, throwing it in the long, down low, and he's good enough to finish and go to the line to the end one.
I'd actually like to see Melbourne United run some plays for him and get him the ball and let him punish the defense every time down.
Well, like we just saw there, the nice little cross screen set play that they have to get him on the box. Don't be surprised if they call that number again.
Steindl. Wagstaff. Not a lot to go to option-wise. Norton is going to have to put it up. 4 left on the shot clock. And a big red number didn't faze him.
He's been really, really good off the bench for them. He's been a great asset for him. That's not the shot that he really usually take and make, but he can still hit it. And as he showed, he can still hit it.
Trimble. Long. Golding. Nice feed. Long the spin. To the corner eventually. And Melo Trimble a little cold at the moment as well.
That's the balance for Melo Trimble this season. Last season, he could shoot the ball whenever he wanted to. It was his team. Here, he has a whole lot of star power around him.
He's only 0 of 2, so he's been really patient in creating things for himself.
Cotton this time. The push, Melbourne United. Ball, Reese Vague trying to get value for time out there.
It's the first time I've really seen Bryce Cotton. He's trying to take the team, put the team on his shoulders, but he looks like he's pressing a little. He's 0 of 6 from the field. He's 1 of 2 from the free throw line. And you know, with a superstar like him, that eventually you can get going, but just that last one was a really tough shot.
McCarron. Golding again from the logo was way outside. And a little push under the bucket called against Terry Smith-Milner. In fact, it's against Martin for the push.
Chris Golden has no conscience today, nor should he. He is letting that thing go from everywhere.
Particularly when he's, coming off that really good shooting outing with a three-point line that's another, what, 20 centimetres further out, 25 centimetres further out.
McCarron thought it was going to rattle its way down eventually. Golding was stripped and fouled. Got that strut going, the little swagger from being hot earlier on.
I personally love when he's in attack mode like this. I say he's two different people when he's playing. He's either Chris Colin or CG43.
Okay.
What is he now?
Right.
What is he now, George?
He's closer to CG43. That's what I love. That's where the swagger comes in.
I've very rarely seen the Clark Kent version of him. He has been Superman on a couple of occasions for this team, including leading them to a championship a couple of years ago.
Let's go, line up. 2 shots. Minus.
At 25 points against the Sacramento Kings, 16 against the LA Clippers. He had some pretty good games in the NBL v NBA games as well. Chris Golding has long puts the first one in.
Love Long, what he can bring to this league. I actually don't think he's shown us over a consistent long period of time how good he can be, but he's heading in that direction.
Nice feed, and the jam in the end from Dario Hunt. 30-year-old from Nevada and Pine Creek. So good to see Dario Hunt getting some numbers next to his name. 14 minutes game 1, 20 minutes game 2, 14 minutes game 3. And the alley-oop attempt didn't quite work too long. What have you made of Dario Hunt's first few games in the NBL?
Honestly, I haven't seen so much of him. First game, he didn't show too much. Second game, had a really big game against Illawarra. Last game against Cairns, coach played him probably 13 minutes. So I'm looking forward to seeing him more and what he brings.
When we called them in that round 1, I sort of looked at what they're doing and how they construct their team, and it's sort of going back a couple of years where they had Jamil McKay in there. He seems that type of player. Not a great threat from the perimeter, but really good around the basket, good rebounder, needs a bit of work on his free throw. And there you see the foul trouble, and that is a big concern. Chris Golding with 3.
So the energy man, the scoring star, having a sit down. White. Well, Tarico White can fire up. It's a different Perth Wildcats team altogether.
What we have to understand is this man is really comfortable in this building.
Just on the Wildcats, they're coming off that horrific, strange game against Cairns. They lost at home, which was strange enough, but to lose to Cairns, that was bizarre.
Cairns came to play. The best team won that night. You have to respect your opponent. You can't think because Cairns haven't won and you're playing home, it's just going to happen for you. Majuk Deng was huge. Scott Machado doing what he does, making plays, going to the basket for himself as well as others. They shot the ball extremely well. They took care of the ball. Cam Oliver, Jarek, everybody came. Don't scream at the ref. The ref can't help you, coach.
Well, to give up 99 points to the Cairns Taipans, and I think that's the big improvement we're going to see from Taipans this season, their ability to have nights like they did against the Perth Wildcats where they can put up some big numbers. And when you've got some athletes like Oliver running the floor, he's also, as we mentioned during the call, a very good defender. He was a defensive player of the year when he was at Nevada in the entire conference, and he's got a lot to give. So I think this Cairns Taipans is improved. I still not sure about whether they've actually made the jump where they are going to be playoff contenders just yet, but they're not far away.
Here's the thing with this Cairns Taipans team. Talented, yes. They have a really good floor general. They have a good coach. They have to know how to close out games. They're always in games. They've been in every game. They just lost it in the fourth quarter in the last 5 minutes.
Well, they closed it against Perth in Perth. They outscored Perth 53-32 in the second half of that 23-point win. Melbourne United with Mello taking control. 4 on the shot clock. Hands it off. Smith-Milner. And he delivers on cue. Tony Smith-Milner. No points in game 2 against Perth. 2 points in the game 1 game against Southeast Melbourne Phoenix. So, and heavy contact as well. Mello and Cotton acquainting themselves.
It's not the matchup, well, it's not the result we were expecting. Trimble lower 2, Cotton 0 of 6. The two prolific scorers. And here we just see a slip. You see Mello, they're just tripped over.
He's come to ask for a review, so he's obviously confident in the call he has. I'm over that side, I can't answer the question.
Trevor Gleeson screaming that it was intentional. He grabbed him with an arm intentionally. Oh, a swipe of the arms. Cleverness from Nick Kay. Showed his experience there. Smith-Milner was reaching in and Nick Kay took the opportunity.
Well, they did, and that's a rule that they've actually altered in the NBA. When you swing your arms through like that and intentionally just try to draw the foul, they've made some adjustments in the interpretation. So a lot of contact that was there, but there's no doubt that that's clearly Kay's objective was nothing more than to try and draw that foul. Good job of it, and works his way to the free throw line and shoot a couple.
Both teams are in the bonus. 2 shots, and here on out, 5.5, less than 5.5. In the quarter.
Clear!
28-29. Margin was 3 at quarter time. The handoff long, stripped. Martin, the 6-time defensive player of the year, was awesome, but not quite awesome enough. Melbourne still find their way to the hoop.
Smith-Milner with a strong putback finish. Great block, as we see by Damian Martin. Good finish, giving quality minutes.
When you see that hustle and you don't come up with it, that can be a little demoralising too. When you're coming from nowhere, Martin just a Herculean effort to go up with Long, and just needed that same intensity from your teammates to come up with that ball.
Smith-Milner had more points in the 2 games against the NBA teams than he's had in his 2 points against NBL teams so far this season. Here we go. Martin steps it inside. He's hot at the moment, so he goes to the hole himself.
We have seen that left-hand floater his whole career. It's almost guaranteed. He goes in the paint. That is a bucket.
Ely getting some time on the court. Shea Ely, as we expected. Turnover. Little floater again on the run. Doesn't work. Pledger was hammered. Martin keeps it alive to his detriment. Pledger back out. McCarron. Ely from the corner. Still a chance for Pledger. Tallest man in the competition. Rips it down.
Great work on the boards by the big fella.
They're still dominating that category. 20-8 they lead, and they've given up 8 offensive rebounds for Perth Wildcats.
Trimble stripped, and it's still a United ball. Well, the Wildcats are screaming for good reason. So the shot clock's either expired or it's got points something on it.
They've gone to the tape to review it, showing on the game in the venue that it's no time left.
How long do they? The freeze is on 2.1. So roll forward. Back, sorry, my bad. Roll it back.
It'll take some time to get this right, and fair enough too. 4:15 left.
Roll it.
Second quarter.
Well, apparently in venue it's 0.9, so
I said point something.
right, well you were right. Let's see if there's not a little bit more on there.
That's stuck on 2.1 for about a second. No, when it hits out of quarter 2. Now we held for a second there.
That was stripped there.
Put it back to 1.9.
Not there.
Held at 2.1.
Now it's out. Actually, that'd be pretty close to being spot on, I reckon. Okay. But maybe a little extra.
I asked you just before half-time, what do you do with, I think they had 4.3 at that stage.
Right.
0.9. There you go. And they've got 1.9 left, so they put a second back to add to that 0.9. Who are we going to here?
It's a catch and shoot, so Trimble coming off the pick, can't get it to him. Well, yes, they can.
They do, and you drew it up nicely for me.
Well, I had a head start because I saw what was going on, but I appreciate the love.
Don't blow your cover. Tariko White. And the foul this time for the illegal screen. That's called on Dario Hunt.
Stop.
Dario Hunt, as I mentioned, from Nevada, Pine Creek, Colorado. He's got his own brand. A bit like you, Corey, living life fearless is his brand. He has the life focus and motivational speaking engagements quite a bit. Good to see him coming to Australia, Dario Hunt. 34-30.
Wildcats, yeah, they called the timeout. It'll be interesting to see where his focus is going to be at.
back court. Let's go. 22 on. 22 on. Hey, let's run it. 23. Got that? 23. Start low. Bryce, you got it. Curl it hard. Hey, no more fouls. Here we go.
So Dario Hunt's played in France, Italy, Belgium, Austria, the Ukraine. He's spent some time in Europe.
And we didn't hear the first audio section, but that's what I was about to say, Dwayno. It's the mere fact that he was referring to that we're not Europe. I think that was a message in regards to how in which he's playing, setting screens, and each country and each region have different interpretation points of emphasis, and perhaps his style of play is not yet fully in tune with the NBL style.
Kindly explained by our five-time Olympian Andrew Gaze. Turnover. Cotton takes it to the hole himself.
You have to understand, as a point guard in this league, you have to take care of the ball when a guy named Damian Martin is in front of you. Don't bring the ball up if you can't handle pressure, because things like that happen.
That is true, but you're up against the uber elite when it comes to ball pressure and guarding the ball.
6-time, not one, not two, 6-time defensive player of the year.
Andrew Bogut winning that last season. McCarron. Trimble. Back to McCarron, to the corner to Barlow. Tough shot, air ball. Pledger hammered. What's the coach hammer?
Right place, right time.
It is when it's an air ball like that, it can go anywhere. And you're not expecting an air ball, of course, but that's where your fundamentals kick in and say, well, if a shot goes up, you just step into someone, get your elbows up and box out, then you've got a better chance of being lucky in those circumstances. And you saw Hunt on that occasion just watching the ball rather than the man.
Second season at United for Alex Pledger after 9 seasons with New Zealand, including those 4 championships. Good to see the kids back. Families are back for Hungry Jack's NBL20. Great to have your company wherever you're watching. 2 of the heavyweights of the competition. 2 teams that have owned it over the last 4 seasons. Martin, there's that floater on the run again. Not this time. Saved in the end by Kay. Swift ball movement. Martin with the floater on the run. Again, it doesn't work. United dodge a bullet. Illy pulls up for 2. Cotton. See what Bryce can deliver at the other end. Martin. He hands it up this time for the jam for Dario Hunt. He owed him one. That was for the coach.
Nice ball movement, penetration, and dish for an easy dunk for Hunt.
McCarron, Barlow. Little fade away from Barlow. Tough shot. Pledger. He's a man mountain under the hoop.
Too big. You can't teach height.
Martin. Game's gone up a cog. He hands it up to Cotton, draws the foul, and you was going to get it. And he's prepared to take the contact, Bryce Cotton, because from the line, he's 88%.
You see Damian Martin with the penetration, forced to help. And in a way, Damian Martin just missed a couple of floaters. Now, it's easy when you're sitting here, but that's one you could almost stunt at and just don't allow the dunk and make him shoot it.
2 of the Melbourne United players in some foul trouble. Golding and Illy both with 3 fouls.
But what set that up was Damian Martin has been extremely aggressive the last few possessions. So if it's early in the game, you'll stun at it and not give up the dunk. But he's been aggressive, so you got to honor.
Yeah, but the key of what I was alluding to, the fact that he just missed a couple. So just keep going, mate. Testing, he starts thinking about it. Instead, he comes away with a nice little assist. So, but you're right. He has been really aggressive.
Big 2 minutes coming up here to end the half. For a tight contest from the outset. These 2 teams normally play tight contests that go down to the wire. From the corner, tough shot from Sam McDaniel. He's just back from that foot sprain as well, back from injury, so he might be a little rusty. Kay. See if Perth can tie it up or maybe take the lead here. The handoff to Kay. He takes it himself, draws the foul from long and will go to the free throw line.
And again, Trevor Gleeson going back to their small lineup. Nick Kay here with a nice roll-off and a very good pass. There you see the pushing coming from long. Works his way to the free throw line to shoot a couple. Sam McDaniel, you were talking about, there was a really nasty ankle injury, almost like a dislocation of the ankle, so he spent some time, but there's another one that played in the NBL1 competition with the Southern Sabres, they're called now. Did some good things at that level and earned his first full contract after being a development player, so he's worked his way into the roster.
Trimble shook him off, and the step back three. Mello finds his range, 41-38.
He is glad to see that ball go through the hoop.
Yeah, there were the numbers. Barlow and his grill. Kay. White, tough shot. Gave it a good run. Long pulls down the rebound. Final minute of the half. Melbourne United, who led by 3 at quarter time, lead by 3 now. Barlow with some slice and dice action. Hopefully he's okay. He's okay.
Great ball movement. Ball handling, I should say. David Barlow, nice chop between the legs, change the direction. Got Nick Kay off balance. Had no choice but to foul.
And you know, his game has evolved, as you always do as a junior, but you see it here, the ball handling skills, they are such that back in the early Melbourne Tigers days, when he spent some time under Al Westover, they tried to play him as a one-man, as a guard. So his ball handling skills, I remember when he was like 14 years of age, 15 years of age, he was one of those elite and one type guys that do all the stuff that you normally carry on with, Corey. And he was unbelievable at it. So clearly wasn't always going to be his ultimate pathway to be doing that stuff, but you see there glimpses of it.
Martin to the corner. 2-for-1 chance here for the Wildcats to finish off, and White was hammered. He'll go to the free throw line. Tariko White, and he's 75% from here. He's got the goods. Tariko White, as Andrew Gaze mentioned, grand final MVP in the championship win by Perth over Melbourne United last season, but he was drafted pick 36 in the 2010 NBA draft, but he broke his foot, was waived, didn't play any NBA games, but he was a little unlucky in that whole process, even though he got a nice check to go with it.
I'll tell you what, if you go back and look at some of his highlights, jump on YouTube when he was at college and emerging, he had some bounce. Haven't seen a whole lot, I've seen glimpses of it, but he had those sneaky ops.
Karen draws the foul, so it's the free throw line action again coming up here. And the quality of imports has gone up again this season. You've talked about the Next Stars program, bringing some of the young superstars from overseas to Australia, but wherever you look, every team's got imports of the Mello, Trimble, Bryce Cotton ilk now, which is fantastic to see. Robertson has been lighting it up for South East Melbourne Phoenix like we've almost never seen it before.
It is, and we look at Oliver and Machado, sorry.
Scotty
Hobson, just real elite players coming and just making the product all the better for it.
I just think that people now know in the world what's going on in this league and want to be a part of it.
Seconds wind down here. You can see the shot clock, game clock differential. Takes it to the hole himself. Kay, the rebound, ripped away by Long. Cotton, top of the key. There's that organised chaos again. It's as if he likes it. 2 seconds left. Have to try and get a shot up. They don't. And it's a 2-point game at half-time. Well, you wouldn't expect anything else but a close one between these two heavyweights of the competition. The two grand finalists from last season in the red corner, the champions from last season.
MVP that held him to 7 points and 2 of 6 shooting.
Big Joe Luala-Chewell back out there to start the second half. He had 28 minutes against Perth when these two teams met earlier this season. He was a long time seated for the first half here. We'll see how long he gets out there. Only played 4 minutes in that first half. We'll see if he's out there a little bit longer in the second half. Cotton from way outside. Little hip check, gets it back again, and this time the bomb finds its range.
Just unfortunate for Trimble. He contested the shot flying by. Chill has a brain freeze.
Oh, and a little fake as well. The shake and bake was nice from Nick Kay.
Chill just panicked and poor attempt at the inbounds pass.
That'll get him sat down quickly again. 4 minutes in the first half only after 28 minutes. Game 1 against Perth. The feed to Long. Thought about the shot. Puts it up. And that rims out. Cotton pulls it down. A good start for the Wildcats here. They were down at quarter time, down at half time. They're up now. And Kay's been one of the stars until that air ball. Rather pump him up. Trimble takes it down the floor. So where he can set up here. That little floater on the run doesn't work. Gets it back, sets it up. McCarron. Plenty of time to use here. Trimble milks it down. He tries to shake and bake on White, who stayed in front of him. Perfect start this for the Wildcats. Hunt off the legs. Still a Wildcats ball.
Definitely not to start Melbourne United. We're supposed to have this in this quarter. Offensively, you're giving up both boards, you're turning the ball over, and you're letting Bryce Cotton get second chance opportunity.
It's not a good formula. There's no doubt about that.
Damien Martin.
Black one.
So foul called on Mello Trimble for the hold. Second foul on Mello. Hunt, Martin. And now Cotton gets free, and he's hot right now. Hunt takes it inside himself. Spin move, tough move. Luala Chul the rebound.
It's good one-on-one defense without fouling by Sean Long. That's the biggest thing. Last season, he was always in foul trouble.
So Long tries to back his way on a Hunt here. Draws the foul.
He seems a whole lot more comfortable when he's facing the basket, but when he can catch it on that block and put it to the floor, goes off a couple of dribbles. He's really tough cover because of his size, and he has a significant size advantage on Hunt as well. He made the most of it on that occasion. When you're undersized like that, common thing to do, the prevention is better than cure, and you just three-quarter front it. Don't let him catch it that deep and make him play from the perimeter.
Definitely got to do your work early when you are undersized.
Crowd on the edge of their seats here at Melbourne Arena. Seen these two heavyweights go head-to-head before and deliver all the way to the wire. Cotton, star of the show, rattles it down. He's found his range in the second half.
I don't know what's good or bad when a star is hitting early or not hitting early.
As long as they hit at some stage, as long as the stars start hitting, then they're going to be tough because that's why they're stars.
And that's the thing, you know, in the second half, he had a bad first half. He's coming harder.
They take the long way home. This time, Melbourne United. Long gets a bucket. Cotton stripped. Scramble. And Melbourne United ball. So it's the first lead Perth had. Can they hang on to it now? This momentum switch.
It's only a slight momentum switch. It's right now, it's just who put the ball in the hole, and certainly both teams have picked it up to start this one. Not great field goal percentages. Both teams below 40%, 38% for Melbourne United and 37% for the Wildcats.
Wildcats' first away game of the season. Their first 3 games, all home games. McCarron. And Melbourne United yet to have a victory in this Hungry Jacks NBL20. Long feeds it. Golding. The fade away. Delightful.
Nice find by Long to a Cotton Golding. That pretty much was a layup.
Good off the ball movement. Good pass by Long. Great find.
Trimble and Cotton head to head again. White. He steps it in. That's a tough shot. McCarron the rebound. Quickly down the floor, takes it all the way himself. Kay, enough pressure though. Martin, again, quickly down the floor, this time the Wildcats. Back to Martin.
Hands down. Good job, Sean.
Hunt. White from outside, draws the foul anyway, and Big Joe Luala-Chul might find his way to the pine again shortly.
And that is a cardinal sin. Rule number 1, never foul a three-point shooter in the act of shooting a three.
Yep.
And you're absolutely right.
Heading to the pine right now.
He is headed to the pine.
The intent is absolutely correct, that you can't have White start to feel good about himself shooting the three, but it's just a little too much and fouls him sending the line to shoot three. But you absolutely have to close out. You can't just concede to Rico White. Goes to the line to shoot three. You're struggling from the field, you work your way to the three-point line and to the free throw line. You see 3 shots go in. That can do wonders for your confidence as well.
So the Wildcats back in front. McCarron. Trimble. Cotton rides him. Forced to DeBarlo. Forced to McCarron. Single figure shot clock now. Long. Kay. He wears him like a glove. Still good enough by Sean Long.
Sean Long starting to heat up in this third quarter. 12 points, 10 rebounds. A couple of assists.
Last 3 times they've done the same play. Bring it down a little cross screen, try and put him on the box. And a nice pass this time goes himself.
Bryce Cotton with McCarron. Shakes him off and drops it in his grill.
That is world class. This kid is a stud. I know this, we all know this, but that does not mean I don't say it.
Knocked away by Martin, who gets it.
No, well, you're not telling us anything we don't know.
No, that's right.
Sure, because he is an absolute superstar.
Yeah, if you don't know the Bryce Cotton story, a 2-time championship winner at Perth, 2-time NBL leading scorer. And he's got a 45-point game to his name. Here's the long move again with a big floater hook. Golding, try to give it back to Long, turns it over. White. Well, when the heat's on, you go for White Cotton as your combination.
You certainly do. And that's what we talked about a couple of plays beforehand. The foul on the 3-ball, goes to the line, goes to the free throw line, knocks him down, starts to feel good about his game, sees the scoreboard ticking over for himself and his team, and the next time down in transition, nothing but the bottom of the net, and straight away, Dean Vickerman, he decides to have a chat about it because momentum, tempo going the way of the Perth Wildcats, and they kick out to a nice handy 6-point buffer with some things to think about for Dean Vickerman.
They're winless so far this season. Here's Dean Vickerman.
With the old boy. Now White open 3-point shooter here. Keep firing those pillars as well. Hey, you get isolated with Cotton. He can't shoot a 3. That's the last thing he can do. He has to go by you, and then you got help behind it. That's a shooter runner if you get isolated. All right, hey, this is where we said we trust trans. You can roll it back in, use your guard-to-guard screening, or your double back doors. Let's go.
And that's exactly what we were talking about the other night, Dwayno, when we saw the Perth Wildcats playing against Cairns in that first quarter, to say, don't let him shoot a 3. So if you're coming from behind, just continue to chase, swipe it from behind, make him get inside the paint, and he still might beat you in other ways, but just don't let him catch and shoot the 3, and they get away with a lucky one there, the Melbourne United team.
Well, the Wildcats can smell a little bit of blood here. Long. He's stripped. Kay hands it up. Cotton all the way himself. Just knocked away by the knee, I think, of McCarron. Back to Trimble, to the corner. Golding passed up that shot. Mello from outside. Mello time. Some Mello magic.
Great look by Mello, the first one, to get it to Golding, and even better look as Golding gets closed out, puts it to the floor. They help off and gets his teammate Mello cooking as well.
Cotton and Trimble. We talked that one up early. Strip again. That's 2 in a row for McCarron. 2 stops you can put next to his name. Hands it up to Golding. Oh, gee, it was set up for him beautifully. Tied all up at 58 each from the logo. Mark. Kay just past his outstretched hand, and Melbourne United get the stop at least.
Really uncharacteristic turnovers. There's that combination that we're talking about. Great find by Mello, and then Golding back to Mello. And not a lot of turnovers for each. Perth Wildcats has only got the 8. Melbourne United have got the 10. A little bit above what you'd expect, but in that tolerable range. But the last couple, there's been some really unnecessary ones.
So Trimble having a sit down, so this might be Long's bucket to get. He'll go to the free throw line. Sean Long with a little muscle flex.
And I like what's going on right here. He started off really good in the first half of this quarter. Keep going back to
The same before, straight up. He jumps into him. Warning on bench reaction. Warning, Perth.
Well, there you go. You heard it. Warning, Perth, Trevor Gleeson.
And we've seen this quarter really make a point of emphasis to go to Sean Long. He's getting a lot of possession, a lot of touches each possession. He's already got a double-double. He's got the 12 points and 10 rebounds.
Trevor Gleeson's words of encouragement for his team also a point to the rest.
Yes.
We'll get the same call at the other end, guys. 58-56. Cotton to the corner to White. They've combined beautifully in this third. White milks it down, hands it over. Wagstaff, all that experience in play right there.
beautiful floater.
The 33-year-old icon, Jesse Wagstaff, with some important minutes now. The 5-time NBL champion out on the floor. McCarron, right inside. Mitch McCarron hammers one home.
Real patient game by him as well. It's only his 4th field goal attempt. He's got the 8 points and hasn't lost confidence from not seeing a lot of it tonight.
Cotton, top of the key, draws the foul. And he's got a spring in his step right now, Bryce Cotton.
It is, and coming off that on-ball, they applied the rules of what Dean Bigelow was talking about that last time out. Chasing, continue to chase, come from behind. And that time just collecting the legs. 15 points, 5 of 12 after, if you get a 0 of 6 start. So he's 5 of 6 in his next 6 attempts.
He's more than doubled his half-time points tally in the first 7.5 minutes of this third. Man who's played in the NBA with Utah, Phoenix Suns and Memphis, Bryce Cotton. He's got a deep, deep bag of tricks, and he's brought it in this third quarter. He's now top of the pops as far as scorers go. 62-59, Barlow. Illy. Turns back inside, back outside. Barlow to save his bacon. Does so.
Big time shot by Dave Barlow. Shea Illy was in no man's land. Found Barlow, and Barlow knocks down from the 3.
62 apiece. Majok. Cotton gets some space. McCarron comes back at him. Wagstaff. 5 of the shot clock. Cotton time. Shake and bake. Tough move. Delivers the 3. Wow.
And that's one you just shake his hand and say, well done. If they're the types of shots they're going to take to beat you, there's not a lot you can do about it. Great intensity, great chase by McCarron to try and fight over that screen, and a decent hand by the big man to help out as well, and just a tough off-balance three-point shot.
Only gave him two. He had the foot on the line. Sorry, Gazy, I gave you a bad steer there. 1:30 left. Ragstaff with a push on Trimble. But this one has risen to its playoff status, this game. Right now, the level that they've given us in this third is awesome.
Clearly steps on the line, and good help. Might have been a hint, a very slight hint of a moving screen. Hard to fight over the top if the screen's going to move on you like that, but still fantastic offense.
McCarron looked up, had Pledger, and then he missed him. They weren't on the same page.
I think right there, that's still a shot he should take, because if he misses, Pledger is in perfect position to get that offensive board and put back.
Clock winds its way down to 1 minute in this third. Steindl, that's his forte. They send him out there, Clint Steindl, to do exactly that.
Well, they certainly do. He hasn't been great at it so far this season. He's 1 of 10 from the three-point line before the start of this one. 5 of 20 in total. That knocks that one down.
Trimble high off the glass, knocked away. Yeah, I think the thing Steindl has in his favour, 41% from the three-point arc last season, so he's got that coming in. Goal 10's been called, 67-64.
Before he gets touched to the rim.
I'm not sure why.
At the backboard. Goal interference.
Basket interference, so he must have grabbed or dislodged, shook or something the rim or the backboard. And got to take it in from the baseline.
I just restarted.
A quick look at the replay here.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He did. It's technically 100% correct call.
But you want it overlooked?
Wow. I'm sure it really impacted.
Oh, it's a flap of a butterfly's wing, goes here. It can change everything. Norton.
That's true.
Weaves his way around and was... All right, he was hooked. So Trimble doing his best work. Norton trying to do his best work. And this game is shaping up as a ripper with 1 quarter and 31 seconds left in it. Nearly. Melbourne United led by 3 at quarter time, by 2 at half time. Perth has won this quarter. Hilly back out. You can see that game clock. Shot clock differential. Steindl was in Golding's face.
Simple play, but it's really hard to guard. Little Spain action there, I think it was, with the back pick. Golding comes and sets the back pick after the big fella Pledger set the screen. And if you don't help out, you've got Pledger coming, but if you stay with it, and there you see Golding stepping back out, puts it to the floor, and that would be an instruction. Really test Steindl's ability to keep someone in front when you catch it, and Golding works his way to the free throw line.
Rear miss from Chris Golding. 16 seconds for Perth to use after this Golding free throw. Don't forget tomorrow night, if you're loving what you're seeing now, more NBL action coming your way tomorrow night in Illawarra. Hawks 7:36. Put that in your diary. Seconds wind down this epic third between these two heavyweight franchises. Cotton takes it. Wagstaff puts the lid on it. Seconds wind down, and Perth, having trailed by 3 at quarter time, having trailed by 2 at half time, show why they have risen to the occasion away from home in their first away game to take a 4-point lead in this last quarter after being down at half time. We will rock you ringing around the stadium, and this place is a rocket right now. Melbourne Arena. Trimble with the early possession.
His third foul on Norton, and an easy one. Trimble expected to make there. We have a look at the foul trouble for both teams. And Trimble just not quite as explosive as Cotton. but just see him starting to grow and take matters into his own hands. That one set play coming out of the three-quarter time break, getting all the way to the rim.
Norton. Steinel sets up for the three. Not this time. Tough shot though. He's on the move. Barlow the rebound. Back to Trimble. Barlow. Dilly. Trimble. Oh, big screen by Pledger.
You can't do that.
Well, you can't, but I think that the problem there is when the ball carrier is on the move before the screen set. Little set play, little twirl action they run, and the punch screen coming up. And as he starts to come up, the ball carrier is already on the move, doesn't get a chance for the pick to set that pick.
The little things become big things in this last quarter now. White turns on Golding, says, you reckon you're the best player in this country, son?
Fourth quarter is when he shows up big. Tarico White doing what he does best. Big shots at the end of the game. He's extremely comfortable in this building.
Well, that's right, and on that occasion, it's nothing more than just great skill. Catches it, backs it out to the three-point line and lets it fly.
Fourth foul for Dario Hunt, who, as his coach told him earlier on, you're not in Kansas anymore.
Not in Europe, I think he was referring to.
Well, he hasn't been a wizard here in Oz so far. Trimble foul on the three.
Well, it's almost identical play watching down the place down the other end with Cotton. This time it's Trimble fighting over the top of those screens, which you have to do. These elite shooters, if you don't chase, they're going to let it fly. And just catching his legs, Trimble good enough to hold that concentration and knock it in.
He's been working extremely hard defensively in this game. I look for him down the stretch to become more aggressive offensively.
He started that way, 5 points already in the first minute and a bit of the last.
All tied up. 71 apiece. White with Golding. Don't know who's stalking who there. White. And a little push. That's a United ball. Wagstaff shakes his head.
24, Jesse Wagstaff. Four personal.
And we've only played a minute and a half, and as you can see under the Perth sign next to their score, they've already got 14 fouls. So this is going to test your defense when anything from here sends, any foul sends United to a line like this, and here's Chris Golding on the low. He goes upstairs and dunks one.
Didn't even know he still had that in him.
Got a little bit of that in him, but that's going to send him to the line.
Here we go, we got two.
Make no mistake about it. With Dean Dickerman at the helm.
Wagstaff is out of here.
He's out. But Melbourne United are going to test this, and they're going to be putting him to the floor and just trying to get to the rim and test the officials on most possessions.
He got bang for buck out of his 10 minutes in this game, Jesse Wagstaff.
Wildcats are in trouble right now. I'm putting my head down and going to the basket every chance, every possession.
Oh, my word. And they won't just do it randomly. They've got a couple of nice sets that they go to. You saw the last one with that little punch screen that they tried to run. Different actions that they get to create the on-ball to get to the rim, or even just the ISO to get to the rim.
Runs his way down, puts them both in. Melbourne United by 2. Over to you, Perth. How much ammunition have you got left? White. Thought about turning baseline. Did in the end. Big Pledger was there waiting. Barlow rips down that rebound. Trimble. Martin and Kay made it tough for him. Had to give it up. Barlow. And it's the Wildcats ball. Timeout's being called.
They judged that came off Barlow from where we're sitting, and it's a long way away. It did look like that it might have come off the defense.
It's been a highlight reel for us so far in this game, but here's your OMG moment. Damien Martin with this rip away on Big Sean Long. They ended up getting the bucket anyway, but there's been plenty of OMG moments in this one between these two modern rivals.
Hey, he doesn't want to foul you. Get on the rack out of that. Okay, we got. Okay, you go down to the dunker spot. You be the 5 here. Okay, you be the 5.
I'm screening for promotion to get a pistol action.
Yeah. Okay, we got to do hard hustles. Get all the balls down here. Defensively, if they get in the mid pick and roll, you want to trap.
Trapping every on ball until I call us out of it.
Okay, that mid one. Rebound, long rebounds. Here we go.
So on those on balls, so when Mello comes off those on balls, they're going to double team him, trap him. It's really hard to do when Barlow is the screener, because if Barlow's the screener, he picks and pops, and we've seen him tonight, he can shoot it. So it puts a lot of pressure. You either have to fully rotate out of that, or you've got to stunt and hope that he misses it. So it's a bit of a gamble when you're doing that. It certainly makes life pretty tough for Trimble, but it can open it up for other players on the court.
Cotton, tough floater. Barlow, Gilly, who put that pressure on. Now he takes on Cotton at the other end. Hands it off to Alex Patrick, who finger rolls it in. Crowd volume's gone up in the last couple of minutes. Kay. Wildcats need a response here. Cotton takes it inside on early. There's that floater again. Another tough one, but this one rattles its way down, and they needed it.
Beautiful touch. Made it look really easy, but when you're driving into the forest like that, just to throw it up and get that nice touch. Great stuff by Cotton. There's the trap that we're talking about. A lot easier to do it when Fletcher's the screener.
Mello, Trimble from the corner. Raises the roof.
Big shot by Mello Trimble. Up to 17 points now. 4 for 5 from the land of plenty. Big play this quarter. As I mentioned before, he was playing really good defense all game. He started off, you can see Shayeli. Nice penetrating kick out.
That's one of the different coaches have different rules. But usually with those guys in the corner, you
not help off the corner.
And then you see Martin, he bit on the help. Help was definitely required, but coming off the guy in the corner, that's always dangerous, particularly when it's Mello in the corner.
Golding. Making it tough for Rock. Rejected in the end with a foul.
No, it's a goaltend.
Okay. Yeah, okay. On the way down?
Yeah, on the way down. And silly play and great aggression, but to me, this is one that was, that's an easy call. A real easy call.
Trimble. Golding. Steps back on Cotton.
Now that is the OMG moment of the game. That's the OMG moment.
Here we go again. Golding scrambles for it. Mitch McNeil on the money. As good as it gets.
Now that is another OMG moment.
It was back-to-back. I actually think the heads-up play, the over-the-head pass, he's on the ground. Golding, check out the hustle first and foremost. Here's the step back that we saw. That is just a tough shot. And regulation, but here he is. He's on the floor, good enough to split the defense and pinpoint accurate. Melbourne United and the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix. And I say we saw over 10,000 there yesterday. Very, very, very good crowd here today, but Southeast Melbourne, Phoenix might have just outdone the big brother.
Look here, there's no might have. They outdid them last night, and for good reason. They are 3-0, playing sensational basketball, led by Mitch Creek and our new guy, John Robertson. 25 and 10 assists yesterday. 27, I'm sorry.
Melbourne United right now, they're on track for their first win of this Hungry Jacks NBL20. Still a lot of game time left, and Dario Hunt makes a statement of his own.
Oh, plenty of basketball left in this.
Yep. Absolutely. 5:30 left in what's been another classic between these two. Mello found a hole, weaved his way through it.
Loving the way he's picked up his game and picked his moments in this game when to attack.
Okay, to the corner, Damien Martin. That's a big-time bucket from their 35-year-old.
That would be the guy you want to shoot the shot.
Well, that's right, and you're going to pick your poison, and he's good enough to knock it down.
5-point game. Barlow hands it up, long hammered, and didn't get the bucket to go. Will go to the free throw line, Sean Long.
Good extra pass by David Barlow, and that's the thing about David Barlow. He's a triple threat. He can put the ball on the floor, he can create for himself as well as others, and that double team makes no sense. It's not hurting United because of David Barlow making plays happen.
Well, the way in which they're passing out of it, as we said, it was always going to be a little bit of a gamble when you're passing out of it. This is the area of Sean Long's game which can be a little inconsistent. He's been good this season. For this one, he was 8 of 10 from the field, from the free throw line, 80%.
7-point game. Largest the margin's been is 8. Damien Martin, who landed that last 3. White turns, shoots for 3. Oh, baby, how good was that?
That is fantastic. That guy is locked in. I mentioned it all game. He is comfortable in this arena. He consistently shows us why.
I'm pretty sure he's comfortable in any arena, but certainly this one has got some good memories.
Not like this one.
The handoff, they were on the same page there, Long and Trimble. Wildcats get a stop. Hand it back out again. Damien Martin to set it up. Cool head. Calm heart rate. He waits. He gives to Cotton. Shot clock winds down. Gets ahead of Golding. Had a couple in front of him. Martin from the opposite corner this time. Hunt a huge rebound. That's massive. White from outside. Will rattle if you play out. Oh, how's your heart watching this at home? 87-83. Edge of the seat stuff. Melbourne United yet to have a win this season. Trimble. Oh, he made that tough for Golding. Saved it. How did that happen? Barlow flicks it up. And they get the stop anyway. Okay. Martin this time. Steps it back. Hunt. Cotton. Takes on McCarron. Martin. Kay. Will he back in here? Turns baseline. Beautiful. Superstar. He is a superstar, Nick Kay.
An unassuming superstar at that. Always in the right place at the right time. Got a good nose for the ball. And there we see down low a little shake and bake and the spin move. Hint of a hook with that right elbow, but nevertheless delightful and a much needed shining.
Definitely. 3 minutes left in this game. I believe both of these guys will decide if their team wins.
Yeah, interestingly enough, the coaches know each other so well as well. Dean Vickerman and Trevor Gleeson head-to-head. Dean Vickerman 12 wins, Trevor Gleeson 16 wins. 2 iconic franchises, 2 great coaches, and it's coming down to this last 3 minutes, and we kind of expected it. Cotton, White and Trimble leading the scorers with Chris Golding. Here's Dean Vickerman.
Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
just got word that Tariko White, that little step back that he took 3 or 4 minutes ago, it was ruled as a 3. They've reviewed it at the first opportunity, and it's only a 2. So I believe that should be 84. There you see the change. So.
Someone back in Perth just put their shoe through the telly. 87-84 now. 3 minutes left. Long, little tip in, and they're taking the long way home again. Melbourne United to try and get this win.
That's exactly what you have to do. There's a mismatch inside. They can't afford to foul. He's too little. Give the ball to Sean Long and let him get the bucket. Let him get some buckets.
Hunt takes him on off the glass. Clever move by Dario Hunt.
That's exactly what you got to do on the other end. You can score inside, so can I.
And they're going straight back to the same play, a little cross screen.
Long.
Just too big. The size, the reach, the little hook, that's tough to stop. Got to prevent him from catching it that close to the basket. Got to somehow or other keep him off that box.
Martin hands it up. White got Illy in the air. Big rebound here. Dario Hunt pulls it down to Cotton. Fouled on the 3. Could have been a 4-point play.
Here's that 3-point field goal that we were talking about a little earlier. Came off and just a toenail.
Oh.
Wow.
Is that definitive? Is that definitive enough to overturn?
It is.
Oh, okay.
It's only just a touch though. Breaks your heart.
I reckon it depends on who you're supporting, whether that was effective evidence or not. All right, 2 minutes left in this classic. Cotton at the line for 3. It'll be a 1-possession game with 2 minutes left. Wouldn't have it any other way in Hungry Jack's NBL20. Settle in at home and enjoy this with us. You got the best seat in the house. Little push, little screen. Golding puts his hands in the air and says, come on.
And that was absolutely perfect. That time you saw Hunt, they went back to the exact same play. Hunt fights for that front position. They go to the next phase of it, and just the moving screen on the weak side gets called for the foul. Good adjustment by Hunt and the Wildcats.
Golding's got 4. We could be headed for overtime yet. Hunt, catch, shoot. That would have been massive. Would have given Perth the lead. 2-point game, 1:30 left. Over to you, Mello. Barlow couldn't find it for a second. Long, but he's a bit further from the bucket. Backs his way in. Trouble. Doesn't count. Call. Huge call.
Must have been a little shuffling in the feet when he collected the ball. Let's take a look. Puts it to the floor. Oh my goodness. I'm not even sure that was a trouble.
Here we go. 1 minute left. Can Perth take the lead here? Cotton with a shake and bake. And the foul. Trimble on the floor. Trimble's 4th. 1 minute left. Still a Wildcats ball.
Gee, that last one, it's a huge, huge call in the context of it. And you're allowed the gather step to start with, then the 2.
I know he can hear you.
Guess maybe they
Only if you get loud,
classify that one as a gather step, but Cotton going the line for 2.
Okay.
Looked like it was a
It's getting better. It's getting better. Give me a little help, Melbourne.
According to our records, only have the 3 team fouls.
Push into the bucket again. And you can see how disappointed Bryce Cotton is. So it's Melbourne United.
Shoot out. Elliot.
Hang on.
Dario.
Let's have a look.
Dario.
No, it's going to be on Barlow.
Okay, wow, that's another massive call. Hunt down the line. Oh my goodness, it was nearly an air ball.
He's got a little hitch in his shot. Now, it's part of his normal shot. It's not like he's feeling that's how he shoots it, but that is not good technique. But knocks it down.
So 91 apiece, action aplenty. Mello. We could be headed for overtime. Mello to set it up. Can Melbourne United take the lead back here? Barlow to Golding. Not a bad guy to go to. Steps back. He was stripped by Cotton. Still a chance for the lead back. Long. Can't get there. Martin gets it down. Wildcats can take the lead. Wildcats can take the lead. Martin inside. Kay, you're in front.
Inexcusable there. The defensive transition, upset with not making the basket. Very tentatively they get back. And good penetration and tempo by Martin. And the extra pass finds an easy two in the crisis.
There's Melbourne United's next four. New Zealand Breakers, Cairns, South East Melbourne, Phoenix and Sydney. This is a huge game for Melbourne United. They don't want to start 0-3. They've never, in the history of their franchise, started 0-3 for an NBL season. And there's the Wildcats' run of games coming. But we've got 32 seconds and maybe another quarter of this to come.
Have a look at this last play that we just saw. Down low, there you see it, contesting for it. Some good looks. And now you just, no awareness. They kick it down the floor. Too easy. And Sean Long, I think it is, just not quick enough getting back in the D-trans.
You have to get back on defense. You have to be aggressive on the ball. That was just a horrible possession for Melbourne United. 2 plays before that, you don't box out when you should. The score shouldn't even be this close. This should not even be a score. You got to do the little things when you play against any team, let alone Perth Wildcats.
There's been a couple of slip-ups in the last couple of minutes. There's no doubt about that, Corey, that I'm sure they'll be dealing with the review. They advance the ball, they're trailing by 2, so they'll get a possession here and another one, provided there's no whistles.
So you can see that shot clock, game clock differential, Trimble time.
My goodness.
Like a hot knife through butter.
It's just way too easy. The Wildcats now have a chance. They don't need to give Melbourne United another opportunity. They're going to hold it for the last. And right now they should either win it with a shot or they're going to overtime.
You know how this thing is going to end up. You know who's going to have the ball.
Well, I reckon that they're going to be trying to keep it in this man's hands.
So it comes down to this, maybe. Bryce Cotton. Yep, it is deja vu. We've seen this movie before, and don't we love it? Seconds wind down, 7 left. The shake and bake on Trimble, and he banks it in, if you don't mind. If you don't mind, he banks it. 2 seconds left. Trimble at the other end of the buzzer. Another classic, and he gives them the wave goodbye. Warm the plane up.